As 2025 comes to an end, I wanted to take a look back at my favorite fountain pens this year. Now, to be clear, I'm not trying to pick the best new pen of the year in any objective way. This is just my own personal, very biased list of pens that I actually use the most. So let's jump in and start with these beauties. First, a bit of backstory. About 8 years ago, I saw a Reddit post about an intriguing brass pen. It was from a brand I'd never heard of back then called Fine Writing International. They didn't even have an online store and their website was all in Chinese, but I eventually tracked down an email address. I sent them an email and asked if I could buy the pen I'd seen on Reddit, and luckily they said yes. One PayPal payment and a few days later I had my very own Bronze Age pen. Just look at this faceted cap and these engravings. There's also a finial motif which is just as striking. Apparently this design is inspired by a Chinese mythical beast. Now, as much as I love this pen, my favorite is actually the next one in the series. It's this black one I got the following year. By an odd coincidence, the Wagner Pen Club I just joined had actually commissioned this pen from Fine Writing International. I swapped out the original nib and I'm currently using a 90s era Sailor 14K nib. The pen is eyedropper filled with Pilot Iroshizuku Shungyo. It's a gorgeous eye-catching pen and it writes beautifully. Next up is the Pilot Silvern. I made a video a few months back about why this is my favorite pen in Pilot's current lineup, and that definitely hasn't changed. It has a stunning inlaid nib, a really satisfying snap cap and that elegant silver finish. The only real problem is the price. Both gold and silver have hit record highs this year, so the cost of these pens has skyrocketed. Next is this pen. This one has an aftermarket URUSHI lacquer finish by the talented artist Bokomondo. It uses two different techniques. There's Ishime Nuri, which gives it that rough stone-like texture, and Shirozaya Nuri, where the pattern is made from palm tree fibers. This was actually Bokomondo's first pen with a specific design. The base pen is a Ranga. I custom ordered a version of their 9B in black ebonite, but with a thicker section than the standard model. The nib I'm using on this right now has a hammered finish from Hooligan Pens and a blade grind by Mark Bacchus. It's a unique nib that really suits such a unique pen. Next up is the Kyuseido Kakarati. My friend CY started his own pen brand a few years ago, and this is the first model. It uses a clever filling system that's basically an upside down bulk filler. I've got another video where I go into more detail on how that works. It also has an unusually soft gold nib with CY's own version of a Naginata Togi grind, which he calls a Sankaksen. I'm obviously biased, but I think Kyuseido is one of the most interesting new brands we've seen in years. Finally, there's another Pilot, the Custom 823, specifically this amber one. I bought it second hand at the 2021 Tokyo International Pen Show, and as soon as I got it, I walked straight over to Nagahara's table and asked for a Naginata Togi grind. Back then, Nagahara had just started his own nib grinding business and wasn't too busy. These days it's almost impossible to get a slot with him. Since he can't use the name Naginata Togi, it's technically a Kodachi, but that's essentially the same thing. If the Silvern is my favorite Pilot pen, the 823 is a very close second. It has a timeless design and an excellent nib. It feels substantial without being too heavy, and the filling system is a throwback to Pilot's early days. So those are my top 5. Here are a few others that almost made a list. This Hakase pen. I have another video about Hakase that I'll link below, but this is really Japanese craftsmanship at its best. This Ohashiro. After 113 years, Ohashiro closed down earlier this year, so this pen is now a little piece of history. This new Fine Writing International pen. I only got it a month ago, but it's quickly becoming a favorite. This faceted Leonardo. It has an amazing architect grind by Mark Bacchus. I just can't resist faceted pens, and this nib is just sublime. Finally, this Mahjong A1. Yes, it is a clone, but I love this fish scale finish, and I don't feel I need to baby this pen, so I keep it in my bag at all times and actually use it a lot. So those were my favorites. I'd love to hear about yours in the comments. Finally, 2025 was my first full year of making YouTube videos. I'm so grateful for all the feedback and all the new subscribers. I learned a lot this year and I'm looking forward to continue this journey next year. See you all in 2026. Happy New Year!